If you were like us and were ecstatic for the official release of Netflix's live-action adaptation for Avatar The Last Airbender, you most likely binge-watched the whole season in one sitting. No matter if you either loved it, hated it, or simply thought it was okay. One thing is for sure, you were trying to pay close attention to everything so you didn't miss any details. Evidently, we know that sometimes there's things that go right over our head, even when we're trying to not miss out on anything, either because we were wrapped in following the storyline, in awe because of the visual effects, or whatever other reason you may have that causes you to lose focus. Don't worry, we got you covered. In today's video, we will be taking a look at Easter eggs and things you may have missed in the first season on Netflix's Avatar The Last Airbender. Of course, this video will contain spoilers of this series and the animated series, so take this as your spoiler warning. But before we begin, if you enjoy everything related to Avatar The Last Airbender and want to see more content like this, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to this channel since we will be discussing everything related to this series. Welcome to the Avatar state. The first detail that we want to discuss is that, interesting enough, the beginning of this series is a parallel with the season finale. This is because the opening scene of the series is of the Great Comet, which after the Air Nomad genocide was renamed to Sozon's Comet, because Fire Lord Sozon took advantage of its passage to drastically enhance his fire-bending army's power and deliver a deadly first strike that plunged the world into the darkness of an all-out war of world conquest that has been ongoing for 100 years. And in the season finale, we also see Sozon's Comet, this time being revealed by Fire Lord Ozai's sage and advisor when he shows Ozai evidence that Sozon's Comet is due to pass over the Earth soon, and obviously Ozai will take advantage of this rare event to try and end the war and rise as the superior nation. Moving on, after Fire Lord Sozon cooks the Earthbender and reveals his plans to eliminate the Air Nomads, we see a live-action version of the classic intro that we saw in every episode of Avatar The Last Airbender, except the first one, which was slightly different. In this version, instead of hearing Katara, we hear Avatar Kyoshi doing the narration, and her dialogue is slightly different from what we hear in the classic one, but it definitely did its job triggering our nostalgia. Also, we get to see Avatar Kyoshi joining the other avatars. Between them, we get to see Avatar Karuk, which is Kyoshi's previous incarnation, Avatar Yang Chen, Avatar Sato, and they're soon joined by Avatar Roku, Aang's previous incarnation. Later in this first episode, we see Gran, Sokka, and Katara's grandmother recite verbatim the intro from the original animated series, which we previously mentioned that Katara was the one that we heard in this original version. In the second episode of this series, we see Aang balancing on an airball until he crashes into a statue that is, and this is a direct reference to the animated series intro, where we also see Aang crashing into a statue. Episode 3, which is entitled Omashu, while they're waiting in line to enter the city, Team Avatar sees someone's cargo get launched by Earthbenders, which is something that also happened in the animated series, but in the original series, the victim was the cabbage merchant. Speaking of the cabbage merchant, did you know that the voice actor in the animated series is the same actor that plays the cabbage merchant in this live-action series? His portrayal was a major tease to hardcore fans because he kept getting interrupted every time he was about to say his iconic line or try to mention his product. Of course, we eventually got our fan service with this character. My cabbage! But he's not the only one that played a character in the live-action series and voiced a character in the original animated series. There were 3 other members that did this as well, these being Daniel Dae Kim, who plays Fire Lord Ozai in this live-action and voiced General Fong in the animated series, Clyde Kusatsu, who portrayed Pasang in the live-action series and voiced several characters in the animated series, and George Takei, who is Ko the Face Stealer in the live-action adaptation, and voiced the prison rig warden in the animated series. In the market of Omashu, Uncle Iroh picks up a piece of his favorite game, Pai Sho. He picks up the White Lotus tile. This piece, according to Uncle Iroh, is one that many underestimate its importance. This is also an important detail, because in the TV show it's revealed that Uncle Iroh is a member of the Order of the White Lotus, an ancient and formerly secret society that transcends the boundaries of the four nations. In future episodes, we get to see the Blue Spirit rescue Aang from Admiral Zhao. But did you notice that Zuko got the mask from the market at Omashu? In this scene of Katara and Jet, we actually get to see this mask in the background. And if you look closely, this isn't the only mask that we see. We also see the mask that Aang used in the first season of the animated series, specifically episode 16, entitled The Deserter. In said episode, Aang, Katara, and Sokka visit a festival held by a local Fire Nation colony in the Earth Kingdom, and to blend in, they each wear a different mask. One of the pieces of music licensed from the original animated series was Leaves from the Vine.
Leaves from the vine, falling so slow.
It was especially important to play the song during Lu Ten's funeral scene in episode 4, Into the Dark, while Sokka and Katara try to sneak into King Bumi's palace by traveling through the secret tunnels. They encounter some Earth Kingdom nomads who are vibing and enjoying cave acoustics, singing the iconic Secret Tunnel song.
Through the mountains, secret, 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 secret tunnel.
We were saddened that we didn't get to see King Bumi's pet goat gorilla. Yes, goat gorilla. But if you pay close attention, we actually get to see statues of Flopsy. Speaking of King Bumi, many of his lines come directly from the original animated series, including one of his most famous puns, lettuce leaf. If you didn't catch that, he said, "Let us leave," in a jokingly manner. In episode 5, Spirited Away, which is a clear reference to Studio Ghibli's 2001 animated classic Spirited Away, a movie that also featured a creepy spirit being that enjoys stealing the attributes of other people. But while the Spirited Away movie has the being no name, Avatar has Ko, the face stealer of the spirit world. During Sokka's vision, or flashback, in the spirit world, we get a cameo from Bato, a close friend of Sokka and Katara's father Hakoda, and an uncle figure to the two siblings in the original series. In the animated series, Bato would have Team Avatar complete his version of the ice-dodging trials, where he would then award Sokka with the Mark of Wisdom, the same mark that Sokka's father received when he was younger. This mark being made in the shape of a third eye, which makes sense considering that the third eye has historically been symbolic of wisdom and intuition. This same mark was also given to Sokka in the live-action adaptation, from what we saw in this vision. Another detail is that we see Katara eating her favorite food at the Agna Kella feast in episode 7 of this live-action adaptation. That's right, stewed sea prunes. An interaction between Sokka and Yue in that same episode echoes a very funny exchange between the characters in the animated series. When Aang returns from seeing Avatar Kuruk, he spots Sokka giving Yue a gift. She thinks it's a bear, but it's actually a carving of a fish that Sokka made for her. Did you learn anything new, or did you manage to spot each and every one of these details before watching this video? What's your opinion on this? Did we miss anything? Thanks for watching the video. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this.